On tonight's episode, we're taking this to that. Hit the intro. Okay, so let's get started. First, we're going to start out with our seasoning blend, which consists of 1 package of taco seasoning and a half a pack of Sazon. There isn't a need to add salt because you have enough in it in the blends, but you can crack some pepper over the chicken thighs once you're done. Dark meat really packs a lot of flavor and juices, and it's really become a favorite of mine to cook with these past several weeks. I decided to go with the boneless and skinless kind tonight, but using the bone-in or the skin kind is absolutely fine. Flip that chicken over, season it, and give it a good rub down. Set it aside and let it sit for a while to get ready for the salsa. Okay, so for our salsa, we're going to start off with the Southwestern style corn. It has the onions in it, red peppers, and the black beans. And the same thing goes for the diced tomatoes. I chose to go with the one with the green peppers and the onions. If you did want to add some spice to the salsa, you can add jalapenos or you can do some cayenne pepper in it. Now, I did not use the whole can. I eyeballed it based on the amount of chicken that I'm preparing and the rice. Beforehand, I did squeeze 2 limes. So we got some lime juice here. And so I'm going to use about 2 tablespoons of lime juice. That's going to act as the flavor of the salsa along with the corn and the tomatoes. We're going to top that off with the Goya Sazonador Total seasoning, and we're going to give that a good stir. Let it marinate in the lime juice with the salsa and the tomatoes and the corn, and then we're going to set that aside, and we're going to come back to it once we get our rice on the stove. So let's get our skillet prepared for the chicken thighs. So we're going to heat it on medium-high heat. And we're going to add our olive oil. I eyeballed it, so I really can't tell you how much I added. But we're going to give it a good stir around once it catches the heat. And then we are going to add 1 teaspoon of minced garlic. Be careful with the minced garlic. My minced garlic was cold and the pan was hot, so it popped. But otherwise, it is good to go. Do not overcook the garlic. It shouldn't turn brown. We just want to kind of get it in the pan before we add the chicken. Stir it around again. Make sure that the garlic is good and spaced out in the pan. So we're going to add our chicken. And like I said, it is boneless and skinless. So I'm only going to sear it on both sides for 2 to 3 minutes. And then I'm going to take it out. So now we're done. Nice color on it, but it is not done yet. So don't eat it. We're going to wait until we add it to the rice for it to cook completely. Oh yeah, this is a very, very important part. Do not get rid of this skillet, because this is the skillet where we're going to prepare the total meal in. And so we're going to take that chicken out. We're going to leave those drippings in there, and we are going to add our rice. But before we do that, I did slice up some limes, and so I'm going to put those in the pan for a couple of minutes so it can catch those juices, and then we're going to set those aside as a garnish later on once we plate our dish. So we're going to adjust the heat down to medium or medium-low, and then we're going to add 2 cups of chicken broth. If your chicken broth is cold, I suggest you warm it in your microwave for about 2 minutes and then add it to the skillet. That way the temperature doesn't drop too low. We are going to give that a stir around, and then we're going to add 1 cup of white rice. We're going to let the rice cook for 5 minutes before adding the chicken thighs back to the skillet. So once your timer goes off of the rice, we're going to re-add the chicken to the skillet. We're going to let that cook for 15 minutes or until the chicken is done. Be sure to watch it closely because it can dry out if your heat is too high or if you don't have enough liquid in it. So be sure to keep about a cup of chicken broth on hand just in case. So with our salsa mixture, we're going to let that cook for 10 minutes. But before we do that, we're going to add 1 teaspoon of minced garlic. Be sure to taste it. You can add more Sazonador seasoning to it, salt or pepper. And we are done. So now it's time to plate. But this is our Southwest Chicken Skillet with corn salsa. It's such an easy meal to prepare during the week. You have minimal ingredients and it gives you a different flavor to your usual chicken and rice. I would say if you did add the limes to the skillet, I would take them out if you do have leftovers. A lot of times as it sit overnight in the fridge, the limes can give your dish a bitter taste. So you really don't want that. But otherwise, we are good to go here. So be sure to drop down below and let me know what you think of the dish and if you plan on making it. Also, you can follow me on Instagram at IAM_humblydope so we can continue the conversation over there. Be sure to like and subscribe and hit that notification bell. But like I always tell you, to be creative, think outside the box, and you too can be humbly dope in the kitchen. See you next time.